Got dreams of being a professional podcaster, but have no idea what you're doing?
This is impossible.
That's about to change.
A new kind of school.
Welcome to the Pod School Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the show. I am going to make this real quick because I can tell you a lot of people glaze right over when you talk about things like loudness on podcasts. And while you might think to yourself, mate, I didn't get into podcasting to be an audio engineer. I got into podcasting to have a chat about what I did in the weekend with my mates in front of a microphone. That is fine. You can still do your kick-ass content. But the loudness of your show is actually something that it is very important to factor in. And I will tell you why. I'm not sure if you have at some point, if you've been podcasting for a number of years, have ever had that situation where you flick between episodes or alternatively between shows, and in one show you can't really hear things, so you turn the volume way up and you can't get it loud enough to hear it without straining, and then you go to the next show and it blast your eardrums off. That's not a great user experience for podcast listeners. So as an industry, it's a really good idea for all of us to be actually exporting our tracks at the same level of loudness, because if your show is at a different level to other shows, then when somebody chooses to listen to your episode, it doesn't matter whether it's too loud or too soft, it's going to sound like it's not terribly professional because it's not at the same level as other shows. Now, that doesn't actually matter if it's your show that's at the right level and other shows are at the wrong level, because you end up bearing the brunt of somebody not exporting their track at the right level. So it's a good idea for everybody to be exporting their show at the same loudness. At the moment, the generally accepted level is, I can already hear the minute I say these words, people just going, yawn. The accepted level of loudness is minus 16 LUFS for a stereo file and minus 19 for a mono file. Now, before you run away screaming, you do not need to know why or how or any of the stuff that happens in the back end. You just need to find a way to make your show that level and to make each of your episodes that level. There are plenty of tools. Your audio editing software should be able to do that. In Adobe Audition, I use a feature called Match Loudness. There are also programs like Auphonic and Hindenburg that can allow you to do that as well. So have a search around and find the right tool for you, or find the features in your audio editing software and find out how you do that. The key is just that you need to have consistency across all your shows, and it's a good idea to have the consistency that everybody else is generally now adhering to, so that you don't have that discrepancy between shows and have people yelling expletives in the shops at your show because they've flicked over to your episodes and their ears are bleeding. If you are interested, if you haven't run away yet, LUFS actually refers to the average level of loudness across your whole podcast. So it's not actually saying that your podcast is equally loud the entire way through, and ideally you don't want it to be. You want light and shade in your episodes. You want to be able to whisper if you need to, or yell out loud if the moment calls for it. You want to have that dynamic audio range and to have a difference of volume throughout your episodes so that it keeps your listener engaged and interested. But what LUFS is measuring is the kind of overall average of the loudness of your file, and you want each individual episode of your podcast to have an average loudness at that level so it all matches up. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm saying about loudness. I just want you to know that that's something you have to think about, and you need all of your episodes to be the same loudness, and you want it to be minus 16 LUFS because that's what Apple requirements are, and that's what the industry has sort of decided we're jumping on, so that's what we need to do. Go have a lie down. It's over. That wasn't too painful, was it? If you need a little bit more help with your podcast, including a little tutorial on exactly how to apply this in Adobe Audition, then please pop along to find out more about my online podcasting course, Pod School. You can find details at podschool.com.au, and I will see you for the next episode. Until then, happy podcasting at 16 LUFS.
That's all for today.